This is the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast. I'm Dalton Gray.
And I'm Mariah Humphreys.
Broadcasting from our hometown of Fairbanks, Alaska. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast, everybody. Thanks for joining us this week. How you been, Mo?
Good.
Real good.
Real good.
It's been real cold out there the
Decent.
last couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's warm now. It's like 18 below.
It has come up quite a bit. It has. It was supposed to be a lot colder out today.
Yeah, it looked like, it warmed up on the weekend, and then it looked like it was just supposed to dive back down to around those negative 40s.
Yeah.
And it never did. It kind of come back up, so we'll see what happens. My forecast had said it was going to slowly go, and then I looked at it later, and it said it was, negative 20. I said, oh, it's warming up, because it was negative 25 this morning. And then the forecast said it was going to go like this, like this. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, it was going to go like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it doing that or no?
It is doing that.
Oh, That's too bad.
Yeah, by about midnight tonight.
Well, that's what it says it's going to do. What is it now?
18 below.
Oh, yeah, it's still up on the high part of the plateau.
Yeah, tomorrow all day, close to 30 below. Saturday, about 30 below. Yeah.
Okay.
Cold. Chilly. Not a great time to have a diesel pickup this time of year, but you and a couple other buddies I have.
It's been worse.
You guys have diesel pickups, and you've been driving your Dodge, haven't you? Mm-hmm. No issues?
Nope. Actually, no issues yet. I've been having the fluctuation on my voltage meter again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I better take care of that or else.
Yeah.
Or else one day it might not.
What did that end up being?
Alternator.
Oh, that's right.
Which was 9 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were down.
And Eagle or whatever, yeah. When we replaced the alternator.
We were in Eagle.
We did the batteries in Wasilla.
Yeah.
And then we were in Eagle.
Where do you think Eagle is? Oh, Eagle River.
Yeah, that one. Oh. You're right. Yeah. See.
We weren't at Eagle.
It's all the same. It's
River.
all way down there. And,
yeah.
I mean, Eagle's not way down there.
Yeah,
but
approximately 300 to 400 miles south of us.
Something like that, yeah.
I think Anchorage is actually
Anchorage, Wasilla, Palmer, the Valley, Eagle River. It's all the same.
Eagle River is just Anchorage Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Anchorage.
Well, some interesting things have been happening in our hunting community in the last few days. I briefly talked to you about a couple of those things, so we're going to have a little discussion about a few of those things.
Okay.
Give some opinions, which, hey, is what it is. There's a whole lot of opinions going around about these topics lately, and we're going to weigh in briefly. And then we're going to move on to something cool, which is hunting with ARs.
Yeah.
The ultimate traditional thing to do.
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, it's the most American thing you can do.
Use the current service military rifle design.
It is not the current service military rifle.
Let me finish. Use the current military service rifle design. It's an AR.
Which stands for assault rifle, right?
Sure.
No.
We can say that, though, because this is America. And under this presidency, we have free speech. Automatic.
No. Really?
American.
No. It's from the first company that first produced it.
I honestly don't remember.
Armalite rifle. Had a guy at work today.
Armalite?
Yes, tried to prove me wrong. He's like, there's no way it has to stand for assault rifle. And he's like 17 years old. And he looked it up and was like, oh, you're right. As I always am.
You usually are.
Yeah.
I knew it was an assault rifle, but I forgot what it actually was.
No.
And assault rifle is just a great joke. Just like the other options between AR-15 is, AR-14. Just pick some random numbers.
Okay.
When that makes you an expert.
Well, there's the AR9.
We can talk about that later, too.
Okay. All right.
But we'll get to that all later. So a couple days ago, we happened upon the news, as most of the hunting community did.
Well, you did.
That KUIU was bought out.
Mm-hmm.
It went from one ownership group to another. The CEO is staying in place, which I think it was Melissa Wolf is her name.
Mm.
And she's been CEO for quite some time, I guess. I don't really know. And the company was sold to another investment company.
Okay.
And
so was it owned by an investment company before?
It was, yeah. It was owned by Maine Post Partners or something along those lines. The previous group that owned it was Maine something.
I haven't heard of that one.
It was just on the page here.
Okay. I mean, the reason this is coming, they were recently bought. KUIU was recently brought out by another one. I think the most well-known, not recent acquisition now, but
Maine
the most
Post Partners. Yeah.
Okay, Maine Post Partners. Okay, but the most well-known buyout of a hunting brand was Meat Eater.
Right.
Meat Eater and its various sub-brands or sister companies or whatever it is, and now they have continued only to expand from there because of the buyout.
Right. So Maine Post Partners bought a controlling share or the entirety, I'm not really sure, of KUIU in 2017.
Okay.
And then now, here this year, the end of 25, Maine Post Partners sold out to Cox Enterprises, which is quite a large company. Cox owns other companies such as Auto Trader, Kelly Blue Book.
Interesting.
There's a whole lot of
where are they based?
Legs to this octopus. I believe Cox is based out of Atlanta.
Okay, so they're an American investment company. Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure that one was Atlanta. But
it's Cox Investment Group?
Cox Enterprises.
Cox Enterprises.
Yeah. And if you just look up their website, you can go to their businesses on their menu page, and it's Cox Communications, Cox Automotive, Cox Farms. And as far as communications goes, and this is what I thought you might find a bit interesting, they're the third largest cable provider in the U.S. And let's see here.
55,000 employees.
Yeah. 7 million customers just on their cable side of their company.
Cox Communications.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Anyhow, so they're a big company.
Yeah.
All about the money.
That's what some are saying.
Yes.
Now, that's what I found interesting about some of the comment sections, because I'm a member of a few of these little forums and pages and things like this.
Clicks.
On social media.
Like my mother would say.
Well, yes. They definitely have that feel. But some of them are even like KUIU buy, sell, trade pages, like on Facebook or something, which I am hardly ever on Facebook, and I try really hard not to be. I don't like Facebook for all intents and purposes. I don't like it. But I happened to be on there for something. Maybe I was, surfing Marketplace, which is about the only great thing about Facebook.
The greatest thing about Facebook. Yeah.
So something happened to pop up about, hey, did you guys see that KUIU sold? So I scrolled through a few comments to kind of see what's going on, and then you see the arguments. And, well, say goodbye to KUIU, or better get it all while you can. Or another company sold out again, and who else is left? Or I guess I'm giving my business to such and such company. And it kind of made me a little bit investigative in my sentiment for this, because in the comments there were a lot of people that said, that's why I like First Light.
Interesting.
And there's other people that
I was going to make a joke. What did they say they were going to go? First Light? But
and there's other people that say, well, that's why I've never quit buying from Sitka. Or that's why I'm loyal to Stone Glacier.
Interesting. Okay.
And it almost seems like people's memories are so short-lived.
Or this is the first time they've heard of something like this happening among the hunting industry, and so it seems...
Right. And so for our own musings, I just decided to just kind of go down a little bit of a rabbit hole with what does a private investment group mean when a buyout happens with a hunting company. And newsflash, there's a whole lot of outdoor brands that are owned by private investment groups. Now, you mentioned the Meat Eater buyout a couple years ago now. That's probably been
It's been a while. It's been quite a while since
probably
that happened.
3 or 4 years at least, huh?
Oh, it's been longer than that.
Maybe even 5?
Let's look it up.
But that's Chernin Group.
Chernin?
Yeah, Chernin, I believe. But the Chernin Group acquisition.
That's an interesting company there.
Yeah. I did a little bit of
private equity firm
research into them, and they are also huge.
Yeah.
Aura Rings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think that was a newer one from them. But.
Viore Clothing.
Yeah, this was a while ago, 2018.
Barstool Sports.
Oh, okay.
They own. There are all kinds of companies. The Athletic. There's a whole lot of companies that, Pandora. What was the other one that I thought was noteworthy that you would recognize right off the bat? There's another one here. Audio Chuck.
No.
Really?
No, can't say I've heard of that one.
But huge investment group. But bought out Meat Eater. And when that happened, the same thing happened.
Oh, yeah.
It was a huge squalor fest.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess I'm never going to buy from First Light again. And
people burning their clothes. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sitka Gear is owned by...
Vista Outdoors.
No.
No?
Mm-mm. Sitka Gear is owned by W.L. Gore.
Which is owned by Sitka Outdoors. Or Vista Outdoors, right?
I don't believe so. No. Gore is its own deal. And you can check me on that. But
okay. So
Gore bought out Sitka in 2009.
So yeah, interesting.
And Sitka was founded
Gore is
in 2005.
Is a employee-owned company. Shared ownership by its 13,000 employees. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
So Gore bought out Sitka in 2009.
Yeah, I knew.
But Sitka was founded in 2005
Yeah.
by Jason Harrison and another guy, Jonathan Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And Harrison left and started KUIU when the buyout happened, which then created big competition. And ever since then, it has always been the Sitka owners versus the KUIU owners in the comment sections.
Yes, it was for a while anyhow. Yeah.
With this resurgence of KUIU ownership conversations, it has made a comeback.
Has it? Okay.
Oh, yeah. There were people, notable individuals that are affiliated with one company or the other side that were making quite rude remarks to users that were criticizing the buyout of KUIU. And there were people that were commenting and saying, well, you should just wear fill in the blank because that's what you should be wearing anyway. We don't want your business anyway.
Nice.
So it kind of turned a little bit dirty.
Wait, what? The internet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Imagine. The whole thing is quite odd to me because Stone Glacier was also acquired by an investment group, Vista Outdoor.
Okay, I knew one of them was. I couldn't remember which one.
Now, Vista is the most interesting one as far as the loyalty aspect goes, because I haven't heard or seen of a lot of blowback from customers with the Stone Glacier sellout, as I have, I think, with the First Light ordeal, with Sitka being owned by private equity or whatever, and now Kuyu.
So I think that is because that, whether on purpose or not, Stone Glacier always catered towards, or whether it was on purpose or not, they always were more geared towards the hunters who didn't care about what they looked like.
To an extent, yes.
And they're not, many of them are not in the public space of the Kuyu versus the Sitka fight. And not all, but like I think that's a big majority of people who use Stone, and Stone's big thing was no camo.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the other side of that coin could be the fact that Vista Outdoor was a well-established
There's that too, yeah.
Investment group already in the hunting industry. Vista Outdoor already had other companies like Federal Ammunition, I think Remington at the time,
Barnes, didn't they?
Bushnell Golf, Camelback, Fox Racing, Bell Helmets, Camp Chef, Sims, Quiet Cat, Federal and Remington Ammunition, and a lot more that we're not even going to read off there. But I think it was because they already had their foot in the door. They already had other tentacles to this operation.
It's the name of an outdoor. Vista Outdoor has the name. It's in the name.
Right.
People hear that and they say, oh.
Kind of sets people at ease a little bit.
It's an outdoor company.
Yeah.
So even though they really don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah. And Vista even came very close to acquiring the Sportsman's Warehouse franchise.
Did. Well, what else does Vista own? Cabela's and Bass Pro.
Bass Pro?
Yes.
I want to double check that.
Yeah, and so what I didn't like about the Sportsman's acquisition, although it never happened, was the fact that I was going to start seeing Cabela's and Bass Pro gear in Sportsman's.
No, Bass Pro is not a part of that. Bass Pro is all a part of a private group called the Great American Outdoors Group.
Cabela's is owned by Bass Pro.
Great American Outdoors Group.
Where am I getting my information?
Because Vista was supposed to be the buyout.
I thought Vista was going to buy Bass Pro.
Or was it the Great American Outdoor?
It was Vista. I know that. Well, here am I over here like thinking I know all this stuff.
I thought for sure it was Vista that was trying to buy out Sportsman's just a couple of years ago.
Yes, I'm fairly certain that was
but
also the case.
But regardless of that, the ease of people's minds did not seem to be upset with the acquisition of Stone Glacier by Vista. And for all intents and purposes, any of these companies, whether it's Sitka or Kuyu or First Light or Stone Glacier, since a buyout, now obviously Kuyu is yet to be seen, but Kuyu is a giant in the outdoor industry space. Absolute giant. There's no denying the fact that they have a large market share, especially in the backpacking world.
So Sportsman's Warehouse did enter into a merger agreement with the Great American Outdoors Group.
They did.
They did. It was not Vista.
Okay.
So I was
wrong about that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Nonetheless, but we can reel it back into the fact that people weren't as perturbed by Stone Glacier's buyout.
Nope.
But in every case that we've seen thus far with the big four, and we're talking about Stone Glacier, First Light, Kuyu, and Sitka, in every case, excluding Kuyu to this point, but even then in the history of it, since 2017 when they were bought out by an investment group, they've all done very well. Kuyu has continued to remain competitive, if not dominate, in the space. They have, if I had to guess, just in Alaska, it's at least 50-50, if not a higher majority going to Kuyu, just from what I see.
I think 50% of people are buying Kuyu over everything else.
between Kuiu and Sitka. I would say that Kuiu has a larger majority.
They split a similar percent of the market share.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure, because Kuiu became became the elitist thing to be.
You could argue the same thing about Sitka.
So Sitka was cool. Kuiu was elitist.
Early on, yeah.
Yeah, early on with both, right?
Right.
And but the thing is, I see less Kuiu out and about.
These days.
Yeah, when Kuiu was at its peak, but that only lasted a few years, man. Sitka, you see it everywhere still, and you saw it everywhere when it was popular.
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago now.
Sitka probably still has...
I would guess that Sitka has the biggest
significant
market share.
Step up on Kuiu, or anybody else for that matter, in the overall North American
now, if you're
population.
Talking die-hard backcountry hunters,
it could be anything.
I could see, especially up here, being more Kuiu.
Yeah. But the First Light side of the story is kind of what keeps me optimistic about the whole thing. Because when the Sherman Group acquired the Meat Eater brands, everybody said the same things. Quality is going to go downhill. Who's going to be in charge now? And well, really, the manager of the founding store, or the flagship store in Idaho, stayed there. We've talked to him before from First Light.
I don't believe that store existed yet when they were bought out.
The flagship store in Idaho?
Isn't the flagship store newer than the buyout?
No, there's a new store in Bozeman.
Okay. And that's the First Light store specifically, not the Meat Eater. Right. Because Meat Eater had First Light early on.
Right. Meat Eater had First Light quite a while ago.
Yeah. And then after the buyout, they started acquiring, well, they had Dave Smith
several other
decoys
things,
and Phelps and, I'm forgetting. Oh, FHF gear.
Yep.
One of their better ones, I think.
Yeah.
I guess Phelps was good too, not that it really does anything for us up here. But
right. But from all the criticism that First Light was getting, we've only seen them get better.
Yep.
The range of products expanded really fast. The quality of things, if anything, went up.
The flagship store in Idaho?
Yeah.
2022.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I was fairly certain.
So I was wrong about that.
It was First Light's first brick and mortar store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But you and I both have a bunch of stuff from First Light these days. And, like, for instance, the thing that we got into First Light for was the new rain gear when it came out.
Yep.
The Omen Storm Shelter rain gear.
Was that the First Light I had?
That was...
I got the coat.
Yep.
And then I think I had some of the wool from them and stuff when I bought the coat, maybe.
Yep. But that line of rain gear specifically was a huge step up from what they had previously in their rain gear lineup. And you got some, and then a year later I bought some, and then I started buying other stuff. And now I have a handful of things, and,
I have
so
do
you.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's gone up in quality. Their diversity of products has increased since the buyout.
Yeah.
And they are as competitive in quality and in offerings of different sections of the market as I think anybody is. You could go to First Light and get everything you need for an entire setup to hunt in Alaska for what we do easily. And there wouldn't be any holes in your product lineup.
They don't sell backpacks, not big ones.
Well, we're talking apparel.
Okay. I'm saying because Sitka sells the backpack, and
Yeah.
not that I think theirs is a great option, but they have one.
Yeah.
And Stone and Kuiu and everybody. Yeah.
Right. Well, you can... I'm not going to even make that comment, but...
Well, we don't use any of those backpacks either.
Not interested in using a Kuiu or a Sitka backpack, but nonetheless, First Light's rumors proved to be completely baseless.
Yep.
But there were still those people that were saying the exact same things as we're hearing them say now about QU.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing that I always saw was everybody said, "Oh, they're getting bought out," and it wasn't that the quality was going to go down. It wasn't that.
Really?
Well, that was a insinuation that it might happen, but more people were like, "They're going to go woke."
Yep.
They're going to go broke.
Wasn't there some gun
of
control rumors too from the Sherman
There's
group?
going to be, and that was all rumors and lies. Like there's stuff that people made up or somebody repeated to somebody, and you know how that's
or
how that
they
stuff
donated
happens.
to somebody's campaign fund.
Right.
Okay.
And somebody the other day, a coworker of mine, I said something about Benchmade knives, and he's like, "Oh, don't buy from Benchmade now. They're anti-gun." And I said, "Really?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, they said, something back in 2015." And I said, I said, "Well, let me tell you this. I still shop at Walmart. And if I still shop at Walmart, not very often, but Walmart, Fred Meyer's, you name the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who all support a lot worse things than I'm sure whatever the stupid gaff Benchmade made then, I'm not going to not buy from Benchmade."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that, from the same thing with First Light, a private equity investment company, their purpose is to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Almost never do you see one of these hunting brands or even a similar type of company to a hunting brand company getting purchased and then going downhill.
Remington
was purchased by, that was a long time ago you're talking about.
I mean, relatively speaking, sure, but it's in the 2000s because Remington was involved in that huge lawsuit, lost, got bought, sold.
Okay.
Now they're back, and they're still not producing guns. You still can't find the new production Remington 700. So they're still, for all intents and purposes,
but didn't a lot of that take place back in the 90s?
Off the map. No, not really. What I'm talking about has happened within the last 10, 15 years.
Well, that's a gun manufacturer, which has its own unique set of issues.
Right.
That aside.
Yeah.
So most hunting industry type stuff, or even in the same flow of things, you would see mountaineering and hiking companies, right? That make like Thule, Big Agnes, those kinds of companies. You don't see a company like that get purchased and then just go completely kaput.
Yeah.
Because the reason they got purchased was because of the possibilities of what could happen.
Yeah.
A company like that only sells out after they go bankrupt or are going bankrupt and they can't afford to keep going. If they only sell out for that reason, if that's what's going to happen. And then the private equity company came in and said, okay, we can turn this into more money by selling it again.
Mm-hmm.
No, they come in and say, how can we make this company either make us money now or make it worth even more, and we're going to sell it for more.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're trying to make more money, they're not going to come in and start pandering to a different customer base. Yeah. They're going to come in and say, what has worked for this company before? Mm-hmm. What's everybody else doing in the market? How can we do it better?
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, it's not a family company anymore.
Right.
But great example, Anderson.
Okay.
Can you buy an Anderson lower anymore? No?
Can you?
No, I know you don't know these things, but you can't. You haven't been able to. I think the last time I physically laid eyes on one was about a year ago.
Oh, really?
That was new in a store.
Okay.
And I had tried to buy one on Black Friday. They were like $25 a piece on Black Friday. So let me buy one or two of those. Never know when you need to put one away for something to do on a rainy day. And they were like, oh no, we're all sold out. She didn't think anything of it. Whatever, I'll buy them next time they're on sale. Because Anderson always made a good lower. Well, $50 normal price.
Wow.
Yeah. And so $25 was a good price on Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, I recently learned a little bit about Anderson, how they got started. And they were a machine company making machine parts, fine tooling parts and stuff like that. And their market went away in 2008. So they started making parts for gun manufacturers. They never sold anything themselves. They just made it for gun manufacturers, branded it for them, and sold it to them, and then they would sell. And then they went to SHOT Show, discovered the popularity, and started branding their own parts and selling them. Okay? So, you had 2008. What happened in 2008?
Big crash.
Before that.
2008?
Yeah.
We talking like 7 years before 2008?
No.
2007.
There was a great big AR buyout for some reason. Everybody was selling ARs like crazy. Okay. Anyhow, it was the perfect time for Anderson to get into the market. They got into the market.
You're talking about 9/11.
No, 2000. Anyway.
Oh, Obama got elected.
Yes. Wow. All right.
Why didn't you just say that?
Well,
you're beating around the bush.
I knew
here.
everybody listening would get it. So
I don't think
anyhow,
they did.
there was a big AR buy. Everybody was buying ARs.
Okay. Obama got elected.
Sportsman's in town, sold out. Anyhow, it was a perfect year for a company to get into. I believe
you couldn't even buy a box of 22 ammo.
Right. It was gone.
Yeah.
Because it sold out. Everybody bought their ARs because they thought Obama was going to try to ban them. Mm-hmm. And he did try to. But anyhow, but Anderson started making and selling AR components, became very popular because of their background in machining. They made a very good part out of regular old 70, 75 aluminum or whatever it is.
Okay.
And sold them, and they worked pretty much just as good as most of the other big name brands, right? Maybe the tolerances weren't quite as tight, but it was fully functional, especially for a lower, which is your serialized part that you have to do a background check for. Anyhow, well, they disappeared. Like if you weren't following any news or anything, they just were gone. All of a sudden, you couldn't get an Anderson anymore. Mm. And turns out they were purchased by Ruger. Mm. And up until that point, they were a family company. And they became worth vastly more from what they did originally by selling gun parts and stuff. And they were purchased by Ruger in July of this year. Mm. And Ruger stopped producing the Anderson components, at least for now. And they're potentially just using their factories to produce AR, Ruger stuff, or they're still selling to other companies because Anderson continued to produce and sell to other companies. We don't know who those were. Mm-hmm. There's a high probability, though, that your expensive receiver was made by Anderson and just had somebody else's name slapped on it, right? Anyhow, and it wasn't $50, it was $150 or $200 or whatever. Anyhow, I said all that just to say, like, that's an example of what we don't like to see happen.
Yeah.
Right? Ruger bought them out because they wanted to absorb their capability into their company.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't have a great AR market. So maybe, for whatever reason, they saw the opportunity. And now that took something away from the customer. And so if Sitka were to buy Kuyu, that would be the kind of thing I would say, if I was a big Kuyu fanboy especially, right? Mm-hmm. I would say, ooh, what's going to happen here?
Right.
Now, are they going to use the camos and everything? What's going to happen?
Right.
Right. Or are they just going to continue to produce Kuyu as normal? Mm-hmm. Right. Or are they going to use the factories to produce more Sitka stuff? Right. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's private equity. It's happening all over the country. It's been happening for a long time. Sometimes you get a good result. Sometimes you get a bad result. Mm-hmm. Sometimes in the food industry, right? Yeah. A lot of fast food restaurants, food-wise, have been going downhill. It's because 90% of them buy all of their food frozen food from the same company. Mm. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why so many fast food pizza places all taste the same now.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
It just looks different.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
It's the same cheese. Anyhow, and so when you have a private equity buy out a fast food place, and they say, how can we do this cheaper? Oh, we switched to frozen food. Cracker Barrel doesn't bake their own biscuits fresh anymore.
Really?
No, they make their biscuits themselves. They freeze them, and then they warm them up and serve them to you after making them, freezing them, and warming them because it's cheaper and easier. Yeah.
So are you speaking ill of Cracker Barrel?
Oh, I've spoken ill of Cracker Barrel quite a bit lately. I think you know.
I do.
Anyway, my view on private equity is it's not a bad thing most of the time.
I agree.
And for these situations, Kuyu, of course, there's a hate. Everybody loves to hate. It's been very popular to hate on corporate companies and everything like that.
Yeah.
But but why? Because of Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that, but that's not the company that's buying.
Yeah.
First Light.
Yeah.
If it was, you might worry.
Yeah. The the discussion of small business versus bought out by what will now be a corporate entity governing the company going forward, right? That discussion in particular, that there was some very polarizing conversations going on about that. And there were even a few comments to the tune of, this is just about money, and why would you build a company that you love so much and then just turn around and just to make money? There's more to a business than making money. And there were responses to that said, what would you do if you had built the company?
It's like Anderson.
And you had been running it for so long, so successfully, and then someone came up to you with a giant fat check and said, you can step away now for the rest of your life. You never have to work again. Your kids don't have to work again. Good job.
Yeah.
What would you do?
You can, you worked hard.
You have the ability.
People talk about the American dream being, a car with a house with a garage and a couple of cars and whatever.
Yeah.
No, the American dream is to build a company and sell it. I mean, come on.
Yeah. There's
nothing more American than that.
Yeah.
Anderson was a family-owned company until they sold out to Ruger.
Yeah. But the other side of it is the tug at the heartstrings aspect of a small business.
I understand.
Where people are attracted to this idea of small business. It's the same reason that farmers markets are so popular. People want to buy local.
Buy local, buy fresh.
Right.
But they offer something that corporation can't.
Well, and that's what I'm getting to, is they offer this touch of personality. You get to interact with that person who owns that company, who offers that service, and you're buying it from that person.
I mean, it's why Dunder Mifflin Infinity didn't work.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's the power of the pyramid. It didn't work.
That was, whoa.
That was part of it. Let's just reel this back over this way. But that romanticized perspective of a small business is, I think it's a skewed perspective in the hunting industry. Because while there are small businesses that exist within the hunting industry, in reality, very few people actually know of them. People look at KUIU and say, well, KUIU was a small business once, and they were. Yep. Jason started KUIU after he left Sitka. And why did he leave Sitka?
Because he sold it.
Because he sold it. It was time to move on. He went out and started KUIU. And, had these guiding principles of, we're not going to be retail. We're going to be online only. And we're going to be able to then take our saved money by not being in retail spaces, and we're going to be able to put that extra money into higher material that we can outsource and get from overseas, whatever.
Sure. That's
the line, right? That's what everybody that has KUIU said. Now, the same thing used to be a similar case with some other companies that we're not going to get into. Well, maybe let's just do one of them. Let's just say Stone Glacier, because Stone Glacier used to be online only as well. In the early days, there was no Stone Glacier in Sportsman's Warehouse. Now it is. And it's the same price.
Yeah.
Now, in the last year or two, some companies have made some price hikes. But they've all made price hikes, not just the ones that are in retail.
Yeah.
That's more due to, some of them are claiming tariffs and other things, and they're getting products from overseas that are being charged more, and so they have to raise their prices. I understand that. But my point is, being online only and saving your customers money to give them a higher quality product, I think maybe Hunter Biden has infiltrated your HR conference room.
Okay, so...
And maybe you should just come back down to reality.
So, but online only works great for some companies.
It does.
Or online with the local space. Montana Knife Company.
Yes.
Right?
But
they're niche.
But
they can't start shipping their knives everywhere.
Could you see at some point in the future, if Montana Knife Company got to be so successful, let's just say that they added another manufacturing site in Montana and they were able to grow into the role of, hey, we're going to start supplying select models of Montana knives to some retail sellers.
Potentially. I don't know that their business model really aligns with that goal.
It could, though.
Well, but right now their business model is our knives are so good they sell out.
Right. Which is genius in and of itself.
That would go away.
Yes.
From the business perspective. Now, if Montana Knife Company started a division of, Montana hunting knives or Knives of Montana.
Okay.
Designed by Josh Smith. It's the same blade, but made in a bigger factory.
Okay.
And you can buy it at Sportsman's Warehouse.
Okay.
But if you want a handmade blade designed by Josh Smith in Montana, well then, you better order a Montana knife, an MKC knife from the Montana Knife Company. You could see something like that.
Sure. Point being is that not every company wants to sell. There are some companies that people just want to keep it their thing. They want to do that. They want to remain hands-on. And look, there are some brands that are contingent upon the founder remaining involved. And we've seen that happen before, where a founding company,
Josh Smith,
starts up. It's a huge. The owner and founder is a huge part of the nucleus of that business going forward. And what happens when that individual dies or decides, you know what, I'm done, and steps away? Well, now you've lost your central magnet to the company itself.
Right.
So there's a lot of questions to be asked with that. Stone Glacier is a good example of it, and I didn't say that earlier to dog on Stone Glacier in any way. I think they make fine stuff. I don't think that they have as complete of a lineup of apparel as maybe Kuiu or Sitka does. I think they're still missing a few things, but every year they come out with a few more things.
Well, Stone is still, they may be the only company still primarily focused on backcountry. Almost pretty much everything they make is for that. Kuiu's got a waterfowl line. Sitka's got a waterfowl line. Whitetail line. Everybody's got their waterfowl and their whitetail lines now because that's where the market's going. Everybody wants to spend a lot of money on that gear, or they already are from Drake or whatever big name.
If you go back in time on YouTube, you can find videos of Jason Harrison giving some little speeches at some little hunting seminars in the Lower 48, and he says, word for word, "We don't make gear for fat people." Well, you can go on Kuiu now and find some 4 and 5XL stuff.
Right, but they sold out. So why wouldn't that company say, well, why aren't you selling 3 and 4XL?
Exactly.
Well, they say, well, because we don't make gear for fat people. And they say, well, that's nonsense. You're losing money.
Exactly. So point there is things change, yes, but Kuiu has also broadened their product line. Now they make whitetail stuff. Now they make waterfowl stuff. They have waders that are made by Simms. And Simms is owned by Vista Outdoor.
Oh, are they? Nice.
Yeah. So there's always a part of this that it's very individual. And Stone Glacier was started by Kurt Roscoe, who worked up here. He started Stone Glacier while he was still working his job up in Prudhoe.
Nice.
And then moved out of his garage, eventually moved the business to Montana and grew it, and then eventually started having some apparel being made. And that kind of took off. In the early days, the Stone Glacier apparel was very controversial in that, hey, this is just like a lot of other stuff that's being made. You know, it's a microgrid fleece. What's the big deal? It's just another microgrid fleece.
It's a solid.
And then a Primaloft puffy jacket. What's the difference between that and somebody else's Primaloft jacket? Well, then a Goose Down ultralight or rain gear. Like, none of it was so different from anything else on the market. It was just something different. It was made by a company that, well, part of it was the solids. I wholeheartedly believe that Stone Glacier is responsible for the trend that we have seen in the solids, hunting solids.
It's great.
And now everybody has it.
When I was a teenager, man, everybody was Sitka camo, man.
Everybody. Everything
Sitka,
was camouflage.
Cryptek, the early Cryptek camo before the Hexa pattern or whatever.
Everything was camo.
Camo, right? And then you had, Kuiu came in with their camo, and then Stone Glacier came with their solids.
And flipped the tables.
And for a while, people just, okay, whatever. And now, well, you use camo?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah. I found an up-and-coming hunting apparel company that I will share with you off the air and kind of get your take on what's going on here. But they are up and coming. They haven't even released products yet. I found them as a result of this comment section that I'm referring to, because there was a bunch of comments that said, well, I guess I'm going to wait for so-and-so to start putting out stuff.
Interesting.
So I got curious, clicked on the link, went to a website, scrolled through a few pictures, went to their Instagram profile, followed them because I'm curious.
You don't want to mention who they are?
Not yet.
Okay.
I would like to do some more research. Yeah, I'd like to do some more research. But even in their Instagram, they were doing kind of a, hey, we've gotten a lot of attention since this Kuyu buyout has happened. I don't really know much about it, but thanks for all the support. I'm just a small blah, blah, blah. Gave his little spiel. Then he said, if you would like to be on the list for initial releases, where we'll have limited numbers of things on our first production run, send me, your size, your preferences on what you like, where are you from, what do you do? And then he said, camo or solids. That was never a question when we were growing up.
No.
If you bought hunting clothes, it was camouflage.
It
unless
was the
you were over 50.
Sitka. What was that pattern called? You know their patterns better.
Well, the original one
the original
was
gray.
The first digital one is Optifade.
Yeah, the Optifade.
Optifade Open Country.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
That's the older one.
That was it.
Yep.
Man, if you were wearing that.
And then it was Optifade Subalpine, and then it was
the Subalpine was really big. And
Elevated.
Now it's, I got the whichever
Marsh
version of the Optifade waterfowl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yep.
But point being is that Stone Glacier came in, and without even having products that, from a functional standpoint, outdid everything else, it was a brand affiliation. It was, I don't need camouflage. I can wear this on the ski hill or to the grocery store or to Sunday church or hunting, and it all works. So I can now buy a jacket that's $300 that I can use more than my 3 weeks off a year that I get for hunting season.
Right.
And that appeal was massive in the hunting space. Huge. And I'm a fan of it. I think that idea is great. I don't think that you should be out spending that much money on stuff that you're only going to use that many times a year.
Well, I'm to a point now where I almost don't even care.
Yeah.
For a while, everybody wanted camo. So I was like, all right, I'm going solids. For those reasons, too.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of stuff in solids that I use for this or for that I use for other things as well. But now the focus has switched so much to solids.
You
that I almost want to just go buy camo, like just because it's, to
me, I've preferred to stay with solids.
And I try not to let those ideas govern what I buy, but
just because not every camo works everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm in enough different places throughout the year that I don't want to have my favorite raincoat be in a camo that does not work in the wrong time of year.
Most of my stuff that's camo isn't my outer layers.
Okay, there you go.
Like, I don't care that when I bought this, and I bought it specifically for something, and it still works. I also wear it at work pretty much every day. Yeah. But it's a grid fleece and a hoodless quarter zip or half zip grid fleece. And
so you're a quarter zip.
I think I bought it 50% off at Sportsman's because Sitka was going out of
you missed that joke.
Production on this one. No, I skipped that joke.
I'll let that one.
Anyhow, just zipped right by.
Speaking of things that we missed, I forgot to put eggnog in the coffee.
Oh.
I have eggnog.
Well, I typically drink my eggnog straight, but
in the new studio that we'll have here very shortly, I have a mini fridge already that we're going to have in the studio.
Cool. Very, very, very nice.
Sweet pickup.
Anyhow, zipping right along.
Very nicely done.
Yeah. Anyhow, I have multiple pieces in this camo pattern that I've gotten at 50% off on Sportsman's.
Oh, you have the ambient jacket.
I have the ambient,
yeah.
And I might have something else. But yeah, because I got it for 40 or 50% off. So why? Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
It was 110 instead of 220.
Right. And back to the Stone Glacier conversation, just because I feel like we've kind of landed there, because they are a good example of a recent buyout of a company that was still in the growth stages of their apparel lineup. Now they've expanded that, and they have
pretty fast, really.
Yeah, they have some things now that I actually do think they're kind of alone in the market as far as what that particular piece offers. And I know some rumors of some other things that are going on there that are going to be, when they come out, I'm just going to say it's about time. I don't know if it's going to come out this next year or not. It was anyway, but innovation is still happening there. And the founder, Kurt, is still involved with the company, but, he had an offer. He took it. You can't blame a guy for that.
No.
You cannot.
Nope.
And you also can't blame someone who says, you know what, I would rather stay hands-on with the company. This is my thing. Like you mentioned, Montana Knife Company. Okay? That's his thing. He probably wouldn't want to sell out and turn it into something else.
Then again, I wouldn't blame him if he did.
Maybe he would.
And you know what? Because if a big company did buy them out, and started just mass producing the knives, they'd probably still do fine.
Yeah, they probably
all the people
would.
that buy their knives right now might not, but then suddenly a bunch of people who thought they couldn't afford them before would decide they could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow,
it's an interesting question to ask about the private equity buyouts. But at the end of the day, just give it some time. If things don't change, then don't have a sour attitude about it. And just because a company sells out doesn't mean everything's going to go down the pooper.
Nope.
Because the last several times this has happened, if anything, things have improved.
Yep.
And, there's always going to be those critics that say, well, I used to buy Sitka and then they sold out and now their products are all this and that. Or Stone Glacier, I had Stone Glacier before the buyout and now it's just garbage. And okay, well, then that's your opinion. But the markets don't lie. Mm-hmm. They're still in business. They're still growing. They're still expanding. And that doesn't happen if you're at a deficit at the end of the year.
Right.
So something's going right. Anyway, ARs for hunting.
Yeah.
You want to take a quick break and get some eggnog in your coffee?
Nah, that's all right.
I kind of do.
Okay.
Break time. We'll be right back.
We're back.
We're back.
Sure.
Time to get noggin.
Yeah. Brownells sponsored this.
Actually not.
Well, we'll see.
For legal purposes, we have to say that that's a joke.
Okay. All right. AT3 Tactical. Love you guys.
Or Hornady.
Hornady, yeah. Actually, I don't think I have anything Hornady for this thing with me, actually. Usually, I shoot a lot of Hornady ammo with it. But anyhow, this is my first hunting AR that I started hunting with.
And when you say first, you're implying it there is another.
Well, I'm building another one, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I talked about that with the last episode.
Oh, that's right.
With Nate.
Yeah, with Nate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell us what we got going on here. For the people that don't know, and a lot of this is just going to go over my head because I'm just not an AR
it used
guy.
to go over my head too, but I've really gotten into it, and it's a deep, 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 deep rabbit hole.
Such a deep burn.
And it really, like, getting into ARs solves two problems. It gives you something to do, and it uses all your extra money.
I was just going to make a comment about how much money it costs.
So this is my 6mm ARC cartridge developed by Hornady, released 4 or 5 years ago now, something like that. And when I first heard about it, I was intrigued and interested in it and what it was and supposed to do. And I don't remember how I heard about it or why I even decided I wanted to build one, but I did. And I think my initial plan with it was my initial plan when I wanted to build one was to predator hunt with it. Mm-hmm. Have not done that yet. Might happen this winter. We still got a good amount of winter left if it warms up.
You've killed a pile of deer with it, though.
I have. So we were talking about deer hunting last year. Mm-hmm. And
rest in peace.
I decided at some point that I'm going to take my 6 ARC. Mm-hmm. And did I bring anything else for a rifle, or did I just bring a 6 ARC that trip? Because a lot of times I brought 2 rifles.
I think you just brought your 6 ARC last year.
I think I did. Because I said, I know it's going to be everything I need.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to bring. And so I did. And I brought my custom custom hammer loads with an 88 grain hammer hunter. I think I've got it going about 2,800 feet per second.
Beautiful.
And little 10 round ASC mags, which at the time it was hard to find it was harder to find a reliable mag for the 6 arc, but now apparently they're all over the place. Who knew? Anyhow, and so I took a Anderson lower,
okay,
that I had on, I think what was just an Anderson built like mil-spec AR that I had, and I took that lower off the 16-inch barreled 5.56, and I bought a 6mm arc upper from Grendel Hunter. Great company. I really like what they do. They make uppers and parts, 6 arc and 6.5 Grendel, 350 Legend, I think. Anyhow, so
I didn't know that was in ARs.
And 223 Wild, I believe. And I believe, 350 and 400 Legend are both primarily AR cartridges.
Really?
I believe so, yeah.
I thought that was more lever gun type
I might
stuff.
have something. Is it 3? Yeah, anyhow, something along those lines. Anyway.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, we'll see if it's right. But anyhow, so
you can destroy them in the comments section.
I purchased this upper, which is a decent upper. It's a 18-inch Cerakoted barrel, a stainless and Cerakoted barrel with a 2-inch linear compensator. We are not affiliated anyway with Grendel Hunter, but they have a really cool system where you get online, you say, I want an upper for 6mm arc, and you say, I want this barrel, and I want this handguard, and I want, and it's all stuff, most of it's stuff that they branded themselves. I want these parts on it. And they sell everything, but I don't believe they sell lowers, which they don't need an FFL if they don't sell lowers.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that you can buy a whole kit that is everything but the lower from them. You can buy literally everything but the serialized part. And so I did that, and I looked up, I had the Vortex Strike Eagle, and I wanted to find the right kind of scope mount to put on here, so I went with the Quick Detach from American Defense Manufacturing that I love because I can take it off and put it back on and it holds a 0.
100%.
Yeah. Never had an issue.
Nice. And do you have it marked on which one?
I can see where the oil was.
You probably put some index marks on there.
Yeah, I should do something like that. But anyhow.
Go back and look at the footage to see if you put it back
on
on
there's the distance that the scope's hanging off the back here too. But anyhow, I really like that scope. I've got a Radian Raptor charging handle. Tried to go with a different one on my new one and ordered it, got it in, looked at it and said, nope.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No. Well, it wasn't quite what I thought it was, but I think it's a CMC 2.5 pound straight trigger in there. Anyhow, yeah, it's an AR. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things about it that I like is the nickel boron bolt carrier group. And the nickel boron coated, it's a very slick material. And it is, I purchased that because of our cold weather. Mm-hmm. And it requires a minimal lubrication versus a traditional bolt for an AR is either black nitride or phosphate, which is actually people like because it soaks up a lot of oil. But cold gelling from oil can cause a lot of issues. So the nickel boron, my new bolt coming with a new rifle I'll be building, or pistol, I guess, will be DLC or diamond-like carbon, which is even slicker than nickel boron.
What's the cost difference there?
Honestly, I think if I were to purchase that bolt again, because they both have the same bolt face diameter, that bolt, if I was to purchase that bolt again or purchase the DLC one from, I think, Superlative Arms, it was the same price.
Oh, really?
Similar price. DLC used to be a lot more expensive than nickel boron, but it's not so much anymore. Maybe if you get in like the 5.56 realm, you have a lot wider range of options. The ARC family of cartridges, the 6.5 Grendel Type 2 bolt face is what that is. And they're harder to find more options for. So actually what I ordered, the Superlative Arms bolt with a Toolcraft, or Superlative Arms carrier with a Toolcraft bolt.
So did you buy that bolt from that company that you were talking about, that you got the barrel from and everything else?
The bolt came with the upper. Yeah, it was part of the when I ordered the upper from them.
So you can just build the entire thing except the lower.
So
all the parts except the lower.
Yep, all the parts. Literally, you buy it, and I literally just these 2 pins, boom, went on, slap a mag in it, you're good to go.
So you didn't have to assemble and mess with stuff.
Nope. It comes built and head spaced, and I believe even test fired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they tune because it comes with an adjustable gas block, which they tune for you.
Mm-hmm. Have you had to tinker with anything with the gas system at all?
I may have adjusted the gas block slightly. I don't remember.
Did you have any issues to make you do that?
Or so with reloading for a gas gun there's more to right to it, right? You can't just load slow. Mm-hmm. Because you still want to cycle and stuff, so then you can adjust your gas for that and whatnot. So I don't remember what all I had to do with that. I do believe I did adjust the gas block a little bit. But I've got a Arca plate, hand grip, and a Spartan adapter for the bipod, just because that was easy at the time, and that's what I had for a bipod. I've got a QD mount up front here, QD mount on the stock, and a QD mount on the back of the receiver for a sling, and I have a Streamlight. Which one is this? This is the ProTac HPX, and it's a straight like pencil beam style light for taking this out for predators this winter, hopefully.
When it's not 35 below.
Yeah, and then this is the Magpul ACS. I believe this is the ACS or the ACR. MOE buttstock, and the BCM grip with the Jack Car logo on it. The Crosshawks.
Nice little finish.
Ambi safety. I think that's just a standard cheap Ambi safety that I picked up at Sportsman's. I'm not sure what there's anything special about that. And I do have a billet aluminum dust cover from Strike Industries.
And did you have that up when you were hiking around through the woods?
Oh, yeah.
Deer hunting?
Especially down there, yeah. Yeah, actually, one of the uppers I was looking at, one of the new uppers that this company offers, actually, Grendel Hunter, is a reduced, they changed the upper so that it doesn't have the forward assist.
Okay.
Or the brass deflector.
Okay.
Which the new upper I bought for my new build doesn't have that either, but the one from Grendel Hunter also did not have a dust cover. Which for a lot of things, I'd be like, great. Seems like unnecessary anyway. For running around in the woods, not going to risk that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could cause a lot of issues pretty quickly.
Keep all the spruce needles and mud and everything else.
Right.
And gravel on the beach and
everything, yeah.
Yeah. And did you have any issues with corrosion?
Zero. I mean, I took it apart every night. I field stripped it every night, cleaned it, went through all the parts, oiled them up again when we were down there. Yeah. Because of the salt water and whatnot. But I have not had any issues with any of it. Carefully oiled screws and everything. I haven't pulled the trigger assembly out and looked down at it. There's a possibility there might be a small amount of corrosion on some of that.
How hard is that to pull?
These 2 screws. Basically, it comes out. You have to pull the upper off and stuff, right? But it's a drop. It's a drop in from CMC.
So what specifically are the? Well, I guess let's just back up here. The reason that we're doing this is we've gotten a few questions even since we had Nate on the podcast. Messages about ARs and smaller cartridges that we're talking about using. You're building another AR for hunting purposes. I've got a smaller cartridge, I guess kind of smaller cartridge that I'm going to be doing a few things with.
You slowly go down in size.
Very, very slowly.
Yes, very, very small increments.
Yeah. But, I mean, 25-06 is
down in size, up in speed.
Is with the bullet that Steve at Hammer is going to try to get me to use, it'll be cooking fast. If we can get the right load for it, I think it'll be a screamer, which is not necessarily what I need for a deer round. But in the mountains, a flatter shooting gun isn't
knockdown power.
Right. All that energy.
Oh yeah.
The speed has its benefits, right? But for a deer rifle specifically, I mean that's the application that you and I and our friend Remy, that's the thing that we have all debated the most about with a deer rifle is with deer, it's a lot more important what round you're shooting just because it destroys so much meat.
Yeah, especially since you're not all you can wait, but you don't always have the opportunity to take that perfect broadside shot.
Right.
In which case you could shoot it with almost whatever you want.
Exactly. And that's, I mean, for sheep, caribou, grizzly bears, black bears, moose even, you can just kind of shoot whatever. And we have said that on the podcast many times. But consistently, the species that causes the most debate amongst the three of us every year about what gun we should or shouldn't take is surrounded by the deer hunting conversation. Because it's a small animal, I would ideally, I mean, this setup, what you had last year with this 6 arc, and you said it's an 88 grain bullet. 88 grains going 2,800-ish feet a second. And that seemed like it was just perfect for those little deer.
It was hammering them, but with so much less meat damage than my 300 short mag.
Yeah.
So much less. Now, I'm significantly slower and almost half of the weight, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a 6 millimeter, or
243.
Yeah, 243 diameter
versus a 308
versus a 30 cal.
Yeah.
So that there's a whole lot at play there, but velocity is ultimately what causes a lot of the meat damage. And so having a slower round is something that I'm looking to move towards, but I happened to acquire a 25-06, and so that's kind of the range of work that I have right now. Not that I won't acquire something else by next deer season that's a little bit smaller, a little bit slower.
I say you need to build an AR to go deer hunting.
I'm not opposed to the idea, and honestly, I like the idea of a 6 arc.
Yeah.
It seems like a really good platform for that. I don't know that I would go with as long of a barrel.
That's the one thing. I really like this gun and what it is.
This one's 18.
Yes, it's 18 now. Obviously, you could pull the linear comp, right? But then if you're going to put a suppressor on it or anything like that.
So here's another question. Why the comp at all?
It was an option with the purchase.
Yeah.
So I threw it on there and I haven't taken it off.
Does it serve any real benefit to you?
It does reduce recoil slightly.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a tiny...
It's a linear compensator, so it's just a straightforward.
There's just a few holes in the end of it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with a 16-inch barreled 6 arc, all else being equal, you would be down probably more in that 2,700 feet a second-ish range.
Potentially, yeah. I'm not completely sure.
Or at least low 27s.
Potentially, with a different powder, you might be able to get it to go a little faster than what I have right now. I wasn't doing a ton of experimenting. I was trying to be really careful because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, so what I'm building is a 338 arc, right?
Yeah.
For subsonic, just to do it, right?
And suppressed.
And yes, completely subsonic, suppressed. I'm building the gun to have quiet action, all that stuff.
So I'm not going to be able to hear you shooting from across the hillside then?
No, you're not. And ideally, I won't really, obviously I'll hear something, but it will be much, much quieter.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to build that. You're going to shoot it and absolutely fall in love with it.
That's what I'm afraid of.
But
that's what I'm afraid of.
Anyhow, but I've considered, because I did this one, built it, and the reason I give it in quotes is because it's just an upper, and I did do some stuff to the lower, but it makes me want to do something else, right? And I've got a 223 upper with a 16-inch barrel. That I'm gonna. It was from that this lower was on. Then I'm gonna put this lower back on at some point. I've got an Arrow precision lower I'm gonna build out to put on this, just to fit it a little bit better. This is more of a precision setup with the 18-inch barrel and the big scope. But yeah, a 16 or even a 14-inch 6 arc, something like that.
Yeah.
because then you could suppress it and it would be about the same length.
Yeah.
Or something like a 22 arc with a shorter barrel.
Yeah.
Because then you're maintaining velocity with even though you're a shorter barrel, just because you have.
Well, this is probably a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it because I really don't know that much about the AR platform. So is 22 ARC AR-10 or 15?
No, it's AR-15. Yeah, it's all the same parent case. 6.5 Grendel, or I think the 6.5 Grendel was based on the 280 Russian or something like that.
So I should just build a 22 ARC then?
You could, yeah. I mean, it's a 22 ARC's a faster 223. It is two,
but with better bullets.
Well, right. It is kind of to the 22 ARC is to the 223 what a 300 PRC is to a 300 Win Mag in a lot of ways. I'm sure somebody's going to have a problem with that.
Sure.
But it's faster and it handles bigger bullets better.
Yeah. I think it's like an 80 grain ELDX factory ammo.
Something like that, yeah. So it is heavier than a 223 would be. Of course, a 223 or 5.56 isn't actually a 223. It's 224, so it's a 22 ARC.
Yeah. We'll have to look at that.
Yeah. I have the new Hodgdon manual at home, the 2026. And it's got a bunch of 22 ARC data in it.
Yeah. That would make for an interesting deer rifle.
Yeah. Well, I'm also intrigued by Hammer has a 33 grain or 36 grain non-expanding bullet in 224.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm curious what that would be like to hunt with. Which would be fun to put, because that thing's going to be ridiculously fast.
Yeah. Well, but again, you go back to velocity.
Yeah, but it's 30 grains.
But then it's a non-expanding.
It's a 22 long rifle size bullet.
Well, I mean, not quite, but...
How heavy is a bullet coming out of a 22 LR? What's your standard weight of a 22 LR bullet? Do you know?
long rifle.
Yeah.
No.
It's about 30 grains.
Yeah. 22 Magnum, the ones I used to shoot were like 40-something grains.
Were they? Yeah. So a 32 or 36 grain bullet going like...
Much too fast.
It would be fun.
Yeah, but at that point, why?
But it's not expanding.
Right.
Because why not?
We have 80 grain
anyway.
Hammer HHTs, 74 grain HHTs, 68 grain, 57 grain HHTs, and then the 36 grain claw hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably be an HHT, but
you'd want to hunt with an HHT.
That would be the... Okay, so what's standard twist for the 22 ARC?
I'm 8? Not sure. At least 8. I think this might be a 7.
Because the...
probably is stamped on there.
The 68 grain requires an 8 twist.
This is a 1 and 7.5, actually.
The 74 grain 22 HHT is 1 and 7.5. And...
So Grendel Hunter does not make this 22. Or no, they do. I do believe they offer.
Do they make a 22 ARC?
Yes, I believe they do. They don't have the 33.
And the 1 and 7 twist is for the 80 grain HHT.
Yes, they have the 22 ARC uppers. Now that's going to run you in the neighborhood of $800.
Yeah.
But they have, let's see, what's the barrel options? They don't have all the same options they had when I did it. You've got a black or a stainless, but the black is Cerakoted.
Cerakoted, yeah.
And you've got an 18, a 20, or 22.
We'll have to talk about this more off air.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
And if you want it fluted?
No. It's probably going to be more money.
It's an extra,
You start stacking those things in there.
Go 20-inch fluted. It's an extra $30, man.
Oh, well, I mean, $30.
Yeah, exactly. You do that a lot when you're going through an upper build like that. Yeah. Oh, $30. Yeah, and then you get to the end, you go, well, what do I not need?
Maybe I'll take off 4 of those $30 items.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Huh. Well, benefits, pros, cons, for the people out there. Are there things that you dislike about this build for a particular reason? Do you see yourself using it on more hunts, and what going forward? Would you change anything about it if you had it to do over again? Just kind of closing thoughts about it.
Pros, cons. Pro, you can run it on a sling. It's relatively short compared to a traditional bolt-action rifle, so it's very quick to bring up and shoot. I did that with deer several times last year, and it was a new term I heard the other day. It was a game breaker.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
I like it.
And anyhow, it really, it just was a lot different. It's not that I couldn't have done that with a, 26-inch barreled 300 short mag, but I'm not running around the woods with that strapped to my chest because it's just too long, right? Yeah. Cons of this particular setup. So obviously obviously it is a semi-automatic, so you just keep pulling the trigger and bolts keep flying out of the barrel. Mm-hmm. And it's almost no recoil, so it's very easy to keep on target. Cons. This one's a little heavy and long for that kind of a hunt. It was fully functional and it did it, but when it came to climbing over logs and stuff, I had to swing it over and stuff like that. Something much shorter would be easier. The 338 ARC I'm building is 11.5-inch barrel, and I'm planning on suppressing it because subsonic, it's kind of pointless to shoot a subsonic and not suppress it. And I'll end up at about the same length as this one is with that suppressor on there. Yeah. But it will be a lot lighter. Yeah. I don't know how much. I haven't weighed this one exactly to know what the weight difference will be, but it'll at least be 3 or 4 pounds lighter. Mm. So yeah, and I'm going to look at some shorter suppressors and stuff. The one I've got coming is 8 inches long, but anyhow, so I have had zero issues with cycling, any of that kind of stuff on this. Obviously, in load development there was, but once I got my load developed, no issues.
Do you have to tinker with your gas system with or without a suppressor? I assume you do.
Potentially, you can have to. You can a lot of times do, and not having not done it. Mm-hmm. So speaking not from experience, but from YouTube, you many times are able to sometimes get your gas system set, especially if you're shooting one cartridge, right? Mm-hmm. One load, specific load. You can a lot of times get your gas system to set, so it'll function just fine both ways. Mm. A lot of stuff comes with a fixed gas block, so it's just full open or fixed to whatever setting it comes in. Okay. And then you're adjusting primarily your buffer because both of those work together. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. I could, because with the suppressor, obviously, then you get more gas. Yeah. Right. No suppressor, less gas. And so ideally you find a cartridge and a load you like, and then you try to make the gas system, if you're planning on shooting both ways, work both ways. But if you have a good adjustable, all it is a long Allen wrench that runs into the tip of this. Yeah, I was looking at that. And you can just, it just clicks, right? So you just count your clicks, right? If it's 3 clicks this way, which would be a lot, but if it's a click or 2 this way with a suppressor on, and it's a click or 2 if I go the other way with the suppressor off to have reliable cycling, that's not that big of a that's not that big of a deal as long as it's not something, you're not trying to hot swap. Which means you're running around in the woods and you decide you're going to pull your suppressor out of your backpack or your pocket and throw it on there. Right. Okay. Then you would have an issue potentially. But I haven't looked into these a whole lot. There's other gas systems you can buy, AR uppers, or even gas systems that I believe work with the traditional AR upper that are piston instead of direct impingement. Okay. An AK is piston. Okay. Right. So all the gas stays up here, doesn't actually come back. And so it pushes a piston that pushes the bolt back instead of all the gas going in there. Something like that might be better in that setup. I really don't know. Okay. I guess that pretty well covers it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. I can go on about ARs for a long time, but yeah, I have a feeling your eyes might glaze over, but well, I have a feeling we're going to have to talk as soon as we stop recording on this one and take a look at a few more things. Yeah. I mean, you can do for if you're completely new to the idea of this. I don't know why, but for a while there I had the idea, I didn't like the idea of hunting with an AR. I still have that idea. I know. But the AR, because the purpose of it, or the name of it in today's vernacular, is modern sporting rifle. Yeah. Right. Yep. It's not assault rifle or anything like that. Right. It's a modern sporting rifle because it's a modern rifle design for sporting, which could be target, it could be hunting, right?
Right.
But it's a modern rifle design. It's not a bolt action, which is a very old rifle design at this point.
Yeah.
Anyhow, and I got used to that idea, built it for predators, and then decided to take it deer hunting, and now I kind of want to kill everything with an AR, just because I can, you know. I got to build me a lightweight AR sheep rifle. I'm joking, also not, but you know, Unitop Precision is a company that makes a bunch of uppers that are a true bolt action. It's a different style lug and bolt, and it just pops onto the lower. But you can buy it. It's a full. It's like a 60-degree bolt. Full. I think it's a 3-lug bolt. And they make a 22 arc with a 20-inch barrel, carbon fiber wrapped barrel, all this stuff. Right? It's like $2,000. That's the upper. But it's 5 pounds. So. Because I was looking at that like, oh, something like that would be cool. Slap that on a lower. Boom. But 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Just for the upper. Anyway, it's also $2,000.
Yeah.
You can buy a lot of rifle for $2,000.
Yeah, exactly. I still will always have a place for a good bolt gun.
Oh, I will too. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. They're fun to build because you can customize and tinker with everything.
Yeah. I think it would be fun to get into something a little bit lighter, you know, that this, and this is another highly contested topic is the subject matter of smaller cartridges for hunting. But quite honestly, I mean, the idea of a small cartridge like a 22 ARC or even like a 22 Creedmoor, which is just a bit faster depending on your barrel length, or even like a 6 ARC, something in that smaller range. You're loading so much less powder. The recoil is so much less, even completely negligible in some cases. And you can practice a lot more. It's a lot cheaper to shoot it. And it still does the job. And especially in talking about deer hunting, which we love deer hunting. And that's all I'm thinking about right now. Like everything will be planned to next year's deer hunt. For me, anyway, that's the big thing. I can't wait to get back to deer camp, and so having that problem solved, you know, that we're always talking about, like what would be the perfect deer rifle, right? And that's why after last year, seeing you shoot those deer with this gun, I thought, man, just from a ballistic standpoint, that seems like it's a really good choice because it's enough that you're killing them flat out on the spot, but there's hardly any meat damage. So where's the balance here? Is it best used in an AR platform? Is it better used for my level of experience with a bolt gun? You know, should I just go out and get a mini action bolt gun?
Like build a short bolt action rifle. Yeah.
You could do that. And also I'm really leaning into the suppressor idea as well. I need to just break down and just get one. But it's an interesting topic. There's a lot more to discuss there that I'm sure we'll get back to in future episodes, but this kind of knocks out and checks one of the boxes of the questions that we've gotten. A lot of questions about your particular choice in AR, and people kind of wanted to see it. So there you have it. Yep.
Yeah, I think deer hunting next year, I'm going to build that 338 ARC. I'd like to take it to run through the brush with.
Yeah.
But I'll probably take this upper with me.
Yeah.
I'll tune the gas block to make sure it works with that lower set for the 338 ARC, and I should be good to go. I might even be able to use the same bolt.
Nice.
Should be able to.
Very cool. Well, I think that'll about wrap it up for this episode, folks. We don't want to keep you too late. I know it's Christmas time, so I hope you all are enjoying your holiday week with family. Merry Christmas.
Christmas week.
Well, yes, but it's holiday week. You know, it's Christmas, then it's New Year's, and, you know, it all kind of blends together. So, Merry Christmas to all of you non-woke individuals out there, which hopefully is our only audience.
You never know.
If you like the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast, please like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Share it with a friend. If you are on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star rating or a positive written review. We really appreciate that. It's the only form of support that we ask to this point in the show.
And on Spotify, you can write us a comment and give us 5 stars there as well. So thanks for listening. You guys have a Merry Christmas, and we will see you in the next one. Tread lightly, but don't tread well.